Okay, so line segments, you've seen this before, you've heard of it before. Just to remind you, it's literally, this is the official definition. It's part of a line made up of two endpoints and all the points in between. So this is a line segment, and that's what we're going to be working with today. We'll also be bringing in some math and some numbers. I know yesterday's lesson was more about vocabulary. This one will seem like math because we're using numbers. So this is what a line segment looks like. These 2 points on the end are called endpoints, and they're usually labeled with a letter like this. And then when you name a line segment, you name it by its endpoint. So sometimes there's other points on the line segment. So this one has point B in the middle. But when you name the line segment, you name it by the endpoint. So this would be segment AC, and then this is like the abbreviation for line segment AC. Some facts, it can be measured because it does have a beginning and an end. And the length of segment AB is equal to this, and we'll see this symbolism in a little bit. Okay, so the first couple examples here are pretty easy, just building the concepts. You'll notice that some of this is like common sense, and it should be. So for here, first example, it says find the length of segment XY, so line segment XY. So the first thing we need to do is identify those points, X and Y, and that means it's referring to this entire segment right here. It shows that this part of the segment XZ is 7, and this part is ZY, so therefore to find the whole length, we can just add 7 plus 9 to get 16. So XY equals 16. Okay, number 2. Again, we're finding the length of XY, so identify X and Y. Okay, so it wants the length of the whole thing. It shows this part is 12 and this part is 3. So to find the length of the whole thing, just 12 plus 3 is 15. So X, Y equals 15. Number 3, they switch it up a little bit on us. We're still finding XY, but XY is in a different position. So that's why you always have to make sure you're identifying. So here's XY. So it wants the length of just this part. So it shows us the whole thing is 12 and this part is 5. So it wants just this part. So you can do 12 minus 5 equals 7. So XY here equals 7. And the drawing isn't to scale. As you can see, this segment looks shorter than this one, but it's actually longer, but that's okay. As long as you're following the math rules, you're good. Okay, so what this concept is called, it may seem like common sense, but in geometry, they always give like a formal name to everything. And this is called segment addition property. Segment addition property. These formal names will be really important when we start proofs in like a month or two. So just kind of keep them in mind. So segment addition property, segment, line segment, addition property is if point B, let's say, is in between A and C. And that's what they're showing here. If B is in between A and C, then segment AB plus segment BC equals the length of the whole thing. So segment AB plus BC equals the length of AC. So again, I challenge you to just keep this vocabulary in the back of your head. So segment addition property, literally we're working with line segments. We're adding the different segments together to make the whole thing. Okay, so then we're going to do a couple more practice just like we just did. It says find the length of HG. So identify what segment we're looking for right here. And let's just call this X. So this plus this equals the whole thing. So X plus 1 equals 10. Then to solve, we'll just subtract 1 from both sides, and X equals 9. So HG, the length of HG is 9. And then for the second one, again, always identify what it's looking for. It's looking for the length of JL. So from J to L, So it's the whole thing. So to find the length of JL, we can just add these two together, 8.4 plus 3.9, and that equals 12.3. Where's 1/6? It is, yeah, 12.3. JL equals 12.3. Oh, I didn't realize. If it's ever not in the frame, just let me know. Okay, so now we're introducing a new word. Well, new to some of you. Have you heard the word congruent before? Some of you? Do you know what it means? It means like equal to, like completely the same. So same length, same size, same everything. So congruent segments are segments that have the same measure or length, where we want to put it, we'll say measure. And the symbol for congruent is an equal sign with a squiggly line on top. So this is probably one of the most popular words in geometry. So congruent means exactly the same shape and size. When we're talking about segments, we're just talking about length. So congruent segments have the same length, but eventually it'll be like, okay, pentagons are congruent, meaning all of their segments are equal and all of their angles are equal and all of that. So it's a much bigger topic, but for now, it just means that they have the same length. So here it says AB is congruent to segment PQ is read as segment AB is congruent to segment PQ. So AB equals PQ is read as AB equals PQ, or the length of segment AB is equal to the length of PQ. In this diagram here, it shows a rectangle. In a rectangle, the opposite sides are congruent. So the opposite sides are equal in length. And there's this little tally system we use to show that things are the same. So it looks like this. If we have this little tally here, that means that segment AB is congruent to DC. Or the length of AB is equal to the length of DC. And then if we want to show that AD is equal to BC, we'll just use a different number of tallies. So if we use two tallies here, the matching two tallies means that those are equal. So AD is congruent to BC, or AD is equal in length to BC. And then when you have that down, just flip to the next page. And when I hear everybody flip on them, it's time to move. So then over here, we're going to do some practice problems together and just like build on what we just learned. Okay, so it says in this diagram, P, Q, R, and S are collinear. Remember, that means they fall in a straight line. And so what we're going to do is we're going to label this with the numbers that they gave us. And then it's asking for lengths of different segments. So we'll just take it one step at a time. Okay, so it says that PS is 46. So the first thing we're going to do is just label that P to S. So this whole thing is 46 units long. It says PR, so from P to R is 18. So I will label that 18. And then it also says that PQ is equal in length to QR. So I'm going to use my little tally system to show me that. So PQ is equal to QR, like that. Okay, so I'm going to label all of the lengths here, just try to figure them out, and then I can answer these pretty easily. So if this is 18 and both of these are equal, what is the length of each of these? It's 9. Good job. So what they did in their head is they just took 18 and divided it by 2, because if these two are both the same length, then they must be equal. So they took 18 divided by 2 to get those 9. And then for this here, we're going to just do 46 minus 18 to find this length. So 46 minus 18 equals, what is it? Good job. It's 28, actually. Right? 28. Okay. Then from here, I'm just going to answer the questions because I have everything labeled. It should be pretty easy. So PQ is 9. QR is 9. Q to S, 9 plus 28. 37. And then RS is 28. Okay, so that's how you do that. Then the next one, I'm going to have you try to label it on your own. So it's the exact same type of problem. They give you the diagram here, and then they tell you a bunch of like lengths or what's equal. So go ahead and label this one on your own. So you try to label it, and then we'll come together in a second. So here's what I got. Okay, so it said the whole thing was 52, from X to Z was 20, and then it said WX, X, Y, and YZ are all equal, so I plugged in tallies there. Then from there, I can figure out each part of the segment. So if this whole thing is 20 and these are the same, then this should be 10 and 10. And then since this is the same length as these, this would also be 10. And then this part right here, 52 minus 30 would be 22. Okay, and then once I have everything labeled, I can answer these pretty easily. WX is 10. VW here, 22. WY is 20. VX, V to X, 22 plus 10 would be 32. W to Z would be 30. And VY, 22 plus 10 plus 10 would be 42. Ooh. Okay. The next, everybody good? Any questions? Got it. Okay, the next question, we bring in a little bit of algebra, which is cool. To bring that back, it says find VW. Let's see, VW right here. So identify VW once the length of this. So what we do is kind of the same idea, like this plus this will equal the whole length, which is 32. So that's how we're going to set up our equation. So it'll be set up 3x plus x plus 8 equals 32. And then we'll solve for x, and then once we have x, we can plug it into this equation to find that length. So you combine like terms, 3x plus x would be 4x. 32 minus 8 is I don't know. 24. And then from here, divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals 6. So that's an important piece, but it's not our final answer because I want the length of VW. VW equals 6 plus 8. And VW equals 14. Ooh. Okay, for the sake of our brains, we're going to skip V and then just go to this next one here. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do that same process. It says find the value of A. So solving for A is important, and the length of XY. So XY right here is going to be this length. So once we find A, we have to plug it back in to find the length of this. So just like before, this plus this equals the whole thing. So we'll do 3A plus 14 equals 5A minus 4. And then from here, I like to try to keep my numbers positive. So when solving this, I'll subtract 3A from both sides. Add 4 to both sides. We get 18 equals 2A. 5 by 2. And A equals 9. So that is part of the answer they asked for, value of A. We got 9. And then they want the length of XY. Right here, XY is 3A. So then we just take this and we plug it in. 3 times 9, XY equals 27. Okay, the next one is the same idea, but it does throw people off sometimes because they don't give us a picture. Notice how for A and B, they don't give us a picture. We're just going to do A for right now, so we're almost done. We have one more problem, but there's no picture. But they do tell us exactly where everything is, so we have to sketch out the picture. So it says point S is between R and T, and we have to draw that out. So point S is between R and T. So we just, point S is between R and T. And so you can just sketch that out, and then you can label it and figure out where everything goes. And there's no way around it. I don't know how you do that in your head without drawing it. So RS is 2x plus 10, so then I'll label that 2x plus 10, ST x minus 4, and then RT is 21. And now you can do it the same way we just did. So it'd be this plus this equals the whole thing. So we can set it up 2x plus 10 plus x minus 4 equals 21. Combine your like terms, 3x and 10 minus 4 would be 6. Subtract 6. 3x equals 15. And x equals 5. So x equals 5 is an important piece. However, in the problem, it says solve in terms of x, then find RS and ST. So we need to find the length of these two segments. So we're going to take this and plug it into these equations. So it'd be 2 times 5 plus 10. So RS equals 20. And then for ST, x minus 4, plug in 5, and ST equals 1. So as you can see, our drawing wasn't to scale because it's saying RS is 20 and then ST is 1, but we didn't know what the scale was, so that's why it doesn't necessarily visually make sense, but as long as you follow the process, your answer is correct. Okay, so we're going to stop there for notes, and then you have the rest of class to work on the homework. Before we get on the homework, I'm going to show you a couple problems that, just so they don't throw you off, and they're maybe that they actually are. Okay, so this is a preview of your homework. There's a couple on here that are like measuring on a ruler. I just kept them in because it was like easy practice. So like length of X, Y here, you just use the ruler to figure it out. Inches are broken up into 16, so you could count 8, 9, 10. This would be 11, 1 and 11/16, or 1.5. I guess if you have any trouble, let me know, but they're just kind of like easy ones I left on there. So, and then everything else will look like what you just saw. Okay, so any questions? At this point, go ahead and grab your numbered laptop and get started on the homework.